call the commission meeting to order. And our first order of business is the roll call. So commissioners, if you would please press present.
They changed the format without me realizing it, so I don't have the roll call in. So there's 23 present.
Yeah, I think that's correct. We have two.
Yes, 23 present, 2 absent.
Yes, that's correct. Cole and Commissioner Parker. Okay, thank you. We do have quorum present, so the next item of business is consideration of the minutes of the previous meeting. Madam Clerk, would you please bring the proposed minutes to the floor for action? We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Now, do we have any discussion, additions, or corrections to the minutes as presented? Hearing no discussion or additions or corrections, Madam Clerk, would you please proceed to the vote? Commissioners, would you please cast your vote? Would any commissioner like to change your vote? Hearing no request to change the vote, Madam Clerk, would you please announce the vote?
23 yes votes.
Minutes have been approved. Next item of business is consideration of reports of the various committees from the commission. You have been sent copies of those committee minutes. And so, Madam Clerk, would you please bring the proposed reports to the floor for action? We have a motion and a second to approve the committee reports. Do we have any discussion or questions concerning the committee reports as presented? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, would you please advance to the voting screen? Commissioners, would you please cast your votes? Anyone like to change your vote? Hearing no request to change the vote, Madam Clerk, would you please announce the vote?
23 yes votes.
Committee reports are approved. Next item of business is the consideration of the reports of official divisions and departments. And this is carried over from our July meeting, which we didn't meet in July. Madam Clerk, would you please bring the proposed reports to the floor for action? We have a motion and a second to approve them. Now, do we have any questions concerning the reports? As you see sent out, we have reports from all of the officials, from our Division of Community and Planning Development, Division of Emergency Services, Division of Facilities, Division of Finance Administration, Division of Governmental Services, Division of Tourism and Communications. Then you have listed other departments that give us reports: elections, emergency communication, judicial commissioners, youth services, Rocky Top Sports World, Superior County Economic Development. We also get a report from the State Health Department, Soil Conservation, and UT Agricultural. Any questions concerning the proposed reports from the various?
Mr. Chairman, it's our
Commissioner Hurst.
Director of Tourism here.
Our Director of Tourism is here, Mrs. Angela Ashley.
If she would, I would ask if she don't mind to give us a report on this activity this year as far as the small business.
Ashley, if you'll come to the podium.
Good evening. We just ended up our fiscal year, June 30th, and we ended up with our lodging tax being down just a little bit. It was about 4.2% down from the previous year. However, the national average, we're actually, above the national average right now. So what we're trying to do right now is just get our advertising out and make more people aware of our destination as an option. And so we're kind of having to drill down on that a little bit, try to get newer people back into the market.
Last year at this time, do you have any idea how we are?
Last year at this time, you mean like for last month?
Yeah.
Yes, I got the report just in today, and we were down just a little bit. I haven't done the figures yet, but it looked like it was maybe 1%. Not as much as it has been, but I can get that to you tomorrow. Okay. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
What's the national average?
It just depends on the location, but we were reading today, and in Vegas, they were down as much as 11%. So that's one we were reading about today. Just depends on where you're at in the area, but it can be anywhere from, 5-6% on up to that. So I really feel like we're doing well, though, compared to a lot of other areas. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can you give us a report on, you may have been planning to talk about it, but on the road?
Oh, yes, I sure can. We being the officials from the county, the cities of Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Sevierville, and Pippin Center, and the chief of the Cherokee Nation met with park officials week before last, and talked about the road closing and how significant the impact that could possibly have on Sevier County, because we're down to one lane. We're down to one lane on I-40, and now the road is closed across the mountain. We were concerned about the timetable. The interim superintendent, Mr. Charles Sellers, told us that because of the permitting situation, he hoped to get it open by October the 1st. We indicated we'd love to have it open sooner than that. And is there anything that we could do to speed the process up? We even offered for the cities and the county to provide resources to do that. Thank you. And he said he didn't know if that would speed the process up, because it was a permitting situation, because they do have to get in the creek up there to repair the road, so they have to get Army Corps permits, EPA permits in order to do that. So subsequent to that, then we had Mayor Werner on our behalf contacted Senator Blackburn, and she contacted the Secretary of Interior, who said he would work to speed the process up. She, after that, had written us a letter indicating that what she had done, and she is hoping that they're speeding the process up. And that's the last I've heard. And hopefully it'll be before October the 1st that it'll be open. But because I don't think it'd take that long. And we talked to folks, highway folks, and construction contractors, and if they could ever get up there and get started, I don't think it'd take 4 or 5 days to complete the repair, but it's getting started. So we're hopeful that it'll be done before October the 1st, because that certainly impacts our tourism, especially with I-40 being down to one lane. Okay, other questions concerning the reports? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, would you please advance to the voting screen? Commissioners, would you please cast your votes? Would any commissioner like to change your vote? Hearing no request to change the vote, Madam Clerk, would you please announce the vote?
23 yes votes.
23 yes votes. Reports are adopted. Item number 6 is public comment on agenda items, and it's the first, and we do not have a request for public comment on any agenda items, so we will move into and open our public hearing on rezoning items. We do have 2 rezoning items to come before the commission tonight, and they are first, tax map 25, parcel 33.00 and 33.03 from R1 Rural Residential District to C1, that is 2507 Boyd's Creek Highway, and the Sevier County Planning Commission recommended 4. And the second one is tax map 30, parcel 65.00 from R2 High Density Residential District to C2 General Commercial District, and that's 2456 Newport Highway. And so I will now open the floor for any individual who'd like to come up and comment on those 2 rezonings. If you would just step to the podium and address the Board of Commissioners, state your name and which agenda item you're speaking on, and you have 3 minutes to speak. So do we have anyone in the audience that would like to speak on either of these rezonings? Okay, seeing none, I will close the public hearing portion of this meeting at this time, and we'll move on to item number 7, which is consideration for resolution 2025-08-01, amending the zoning resolution by rezoning tax map 2533.00 and 33.03 from A1 Agricultural District to R2M Medium Residential District. Madam Clerk, would you now proceed put up the resolution 2025-08-01, which is amending that for action to be taken. Have preceded that, do we have a motion and a second to approve this resolution, rezoning rather? We do have a motion and second now. Do we have any questions or comments? Mr. Temple, our planner, I will recognize you if you have any comments concerning this proposed rezoning.
Mr. Mayor, as you announced in the public hearing, it was stated to be C1. It is actually, as on the screen, is R2M. That's what the resolution says, and that's what the request is, just to make that clear.
Okay. Any other comment?
No, sir.
Any other questions from members of the commission concerning this rezoning? Okay, hearing none, Madam Clerk, would you please advance to the voting screen? Commissioners, would you please cast your votes? Any commissioner like to change your vote? Hearing no request to change the vote, Madam Clerk, would you please announce the vote?
23 yes votes.
Resolution been properly adopted. We move on to item number 8 now. Consideration of resolution 2025-08-02, amending the zoning resolution for Sevier County, Tennessee by rezoning tax map 30, partial 65.00 from R2 High Density Residential District to C2 General Commercial District. Madam Clerk, would you please advance to the voting screen? We have a motion and a second. Now, do we have any discussion or questions concerning this proposed rezoning? Mr. Temple, you have any comment concerning the rezoning?
This is one of the properties on Newport Highway where the frontage was originally zoned to be C2. The rear was originally zoned to be R2. This amendment will change the entire property to C2.
Questions from the commission concerning the proposed rezoning? Hearing no questions, Madam Clerk, would you please advance to the voting screen? Commissioners, would you please cast your votes? Any commissioner would like to change their vote? Hearing no request to change the vote, Madam Clerk, would you please announce the vote?
23 yes votes.
Resolution been properly adopted. We are on item number 9 now, which is consideration of resolution 2025-08-03 to appoint judicial commissioners for Sevier County. Madam Clerk, would you please advance the resolution? Have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Do we have any questions or comment? We have Mr. Albert Snyder with us tonight. Glad to have Albert with us. He is the supervisor of our judicial commissioner program we have in the county. Hearing no questions, Madam Clerk, please advance to the voting screen. Commissioners, please cast your votes. Anyone like to change their vote? Hearing no request to change the vote, Madam Clerk, would you please announce the vote?
23 yes votes.
Resolution been properly adopted. We're now moving to item number 10. Yes.
Before we move on, because I didn't have any questions about voting on these particular individuals, but while Albert's here, I do have questions. How would we first time?
I'll certainly recognize you, Commissioner Delis, and I'll ask Mr. Snyder to come to the podium, and you may ask him a question.
Albert, what review, do you do a periodic review of the matrix actions to determine if they're following proper procedures?
I'll do that constantly. And go ahead.
You do, in doing that review, what is it that you do to go back and check? I'll just give you a for instance. I had an individual that a search warrant was issued for that never met with the officer, and there was no oath taken from that individual client before a search warrant was handed out of the jail and provided to this officer. The officer signed it to leave the department, having never sworn his confidence. I know that's been brought to attention.
Yes, sir.
How would you check, how would you find those things out?
Well, I've tried to look at the video, but I don't know who the person is at the time. So I'd love to have the dates and I can go back and see exactly what happened on it, because I'm not sure which one it is. I think I know which one it is, but I'm not 100%. Yes.
I can talk to you about this in private, but I
Yes,
just
sir.
wonder what process do you have, because we used to be responsible for overseeing magistrates, and then the courts asked us to lay that obligation in. I just wonder what process is in place to make sure that they're not short-circuiting, because, I mean, this was a misdemeanor theft, but if it is something serious, not that misdemeanors aren't serious, but if it's been a major felony.
Oh, I totally understand. And from time to time, I'll catch stuff that usually a minor issue, something wasn't signed. I had questions on, the probable cause or something like that. If it is something that I don't necessarily have to go into detail with, I'll write them a note. You forgot to do this. It's mandatory this. Put it in their file. Sometimes I will discuss it with them. Depends on what it is. Every morning I go in and I look at the warrants and anything that's going on that I can find. Again, in the arraignments, I'm doing the same thing and catching stuff and discussing it with them periodically as something comes up.
So you review search warrant applications?
I will look at them, but, you know, the search warrants that are done are DUI search warrants only. They are not a lot of felony charges. Now, we have the authorization to, but we don't. It's basically the judges want to see those. The DA is supposed to review those type of situations. So if it's a major offense, that's going to go through first the DA, and then it's going to go to whichever judge that they can find to sign the search warrant.
Put over the search warrant for blood.
They are doing it.
I guess good over the results of the homicide or death
Good.
later on. They're not inconsequential, they're serious stuff.
Well, they are. And I'm not making light of it, don't get me wrong. I do look at them, yes. But I don't know all the facts of it, except for what's in that search warrant. Because most of the time, you know, we get a copy of the search warrant, or the original goes to the clerk's office. So those are left in the office. Next morning, or next business day, they go over to the clerk's office to be filed.
Do you have a policy that officers are coming into the magistrate's office to obtain warrants?
It is not a written policy yet, but they are aware, totally aware, that they need to be in the office doing it. They are all aware of that. That was addressed after that situation arose. Yeah, and if you'll talk to me later on and give me that information, I would like to look it up. Yeah. But to answer back to your original question, I look at stuff all the time, and I'm looking at their bonds to see if they're setting them, you know, trying to OR out a big felony, or if it's a really high bond on something small, you know, a Class C misdemeanor. So I do go over that all the time, and I'll address it with them, you know, as things come along.
You're continuing to all.
Correct. The arraignments, as y'all probably know, we could have 100 of them here at one time. Now granted, it's kind of hard for me to look at every single detail on the warrant, but I do catch stuff sometimes. Jail arraignments are a lot less. You're looking at probably around 25 or 30 that comes through here on 3 days a week. But then I'm looking at warrants too, also in the office. They have not been served. That has to go out of county to get served. All those issues.
Other questions? Thank you. Okay, we are now on item number 10 on your agenda, which is consideration of resolution 2025-08-04, authorize a $12.50 charge by the clerk of every court in Sevier County having jurisdiction of state misdemeanors and felonies for the purposes authorized and set out in TCA 40-3-106 for the Attorney General's office. Madam Clerk, would you please advance this resolution for consideration by the Commission? We have a motion and a second to approve it. We are glad tonight to have with us our Attorney General, Mr. Jimmy Dunn. Welcome, General Dunn. If you'd like to come forth and just give us a brief synopsis of this resolution, the Commission would appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all listening to me on this. This is something new to us, to the District Attorney Generals. The governor signed this bill, passed by the legislature this year. He signed it on May the 7th of this year. And what it does is authorize us to come to you. It only, TCA 40-3-106, which is on the screen as well, it only becomes law after 2/3 of the legislative body says that it should be. It becomes effective immediately, and the money is sent, put on the back of the warrant for criminal, except non-moving violations involving automobiles. It's sent to, the money is, according to the statute as passed, it is sent to the District Attorney General's conference, and the clerk will enter it in the appropriate place on the criminal warrants. And then the money, if paid, will be sent to the Tennessee District Attorney General's Conference. And it'll be set aside just for me. And this is the 4th district. So we talked to our budget officer, the top man down there in Nashville, and asked him how he was going to do that. So he said he's going to put it one account for whatever county in the 4th district passes this resolution. So I asked him, because I had been asked, I asked him if we could separate that. And he said, no, the way that he thinks is correct, it has to go in a pot. Now, this money, if it's not spent, it does not go in the general fund. It stays in the account. But this morning, I was in another county in my district, and the clerk brought it up to me about, she's got everything set up. She's talked to the folks in Nashville. And so I asked her, I said, can you tell me at the end of the year how much money has been collected for that particular county? And she said, of course, we pay it. You know, they keep records of that, so we'll know. And of course, some of the folks I've talked to anyway said, will you spend it in our county? Certainly, I mean, that would be the proper way to do business. And for many reasons, you know. So because all counties are different, and of course, Sevier County is the largest county in the 4th Judicial District. But certainly listen to the county mayors and the county legislative bodies, and if any of them has a request, then certainly we'll try to use that money for that. Now, I don't know. I shouldn't say I don't have a clue. I do have a clue because I've listened to some of y'all. Tell me how much you think. So it could be that we would be able to hire somebody someday, but then we run into, still has to go through county government, because the legislature is the only one, and the governor is the only one that can give us positions. So we have to go through them to get authorization for positions. We got none in this year's budget, which took effect July 1, which is not uncommon. But you got 32 elected DAs, and probably got over 500 assistant DAs, and then we have, of course, the support staff. One of the other things, and just because I just did it, I was downstairs and I just paid a bill for $5,100 and $700 and some odd dollars for one witness and one trial in Sevier County, Tennessee. So there's a lot of uses that the money could go for to pay for that we have to scrape by on a limited budget that we get from the state legislature. Any other questions?
Questions by members of the commission?
Well, I think this issue, can I ask you anything at all?
I'd say Commissioner Davis, we'll just combine it to this issue right now. Any other questions? Not, thank you, General. Thank you for being
Thank
here
you, and
tonight.
thank you all. I appreciate you.
Okay, Madam Clerk, would you move the resolution to the floor for action to be taken? There we go. Now, cast your votes, please. Would any commissioner like to change your vote? Madam Clerk, please announce the vote.
23 yes votes.
Okay, 23 yes votes. Resolution been properly adopted. Next item of business, item number 11, is consideration of resolution 2025-0805 to accept the resignation of Jonas Smelser, our Sevier County Highway Superintendent. Madam Clerk, please bring the resolution to the floor for action. We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Now that we have discussion by members of the commission. And before we do that, let me say that this is certainly a bittersweet moment for me, and I think for the entire county, and that Jonas has been our highway superintendent for some 43 years now. And I can say that standpoint of a county official and many county officials that we've worked well together over those 43 years. And that's an amazing statement, I think, to make for any county officials, Jonas, that they've worked well together for 43 years. And Jonas has done a tremendous job as highway superintendent and made a lot of progress in our highway system over those years. And as I said in my comments to the media and earlier to the Transportation Committee, he not only did a great job with the funds that he had in improving our highway system because people had so much confidence in his abilities and his character. He was able to get the commission to give additional funds to the highway department, and he used those wisely. And he also worked with the state well over the years to help improve our highway system. So it's going to be loss and experience, and Jonas will, I'm sure, still be around, and most importantly, as I said, not only did we get along, but we've been friends for those 43 years, and so we'll certainly miss him, but he has an assistant who will be stepping into that role, and the commission will be going through the process of filling the vacancy. Donnie Adams, who is with him tonight, will be stepping into that role, and as you know, there's a process out there that we have to follow for the commission. You have 120 days to fill a position, and then this position will be up for election in next year's electoral process. There's a little quirk in it in the highway law. As you know, there is a committee in Nashville that has to certify candidates for highway superintendent. They have to have certain qualifications in order to be able to run. So we'll have a little bit different situation, whereas we will have to take names beforehand, and those people will have to get certified in order to be eligible to be appointed. And then those are the only people that the commission can consider in an appointment, and then the same goes for when the election is held next year. So the process will be just a little bit different, but we'll begin that process. I never have understood quite why governmental bodies had to accept a resignation, because if someone wants to resign, but that's the way the law is, and as I said, this is a bittersweet moment. Me and I think that on behalf of our citizens, I want to thank Jonas for the job he's done in this county, and for the improvements he's made to infrastructure. And he's done a tremendous job, and I thank him. So now I'll open the floor for any comments by members of the commission.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to say that it's been a pleasure knowing Mr. Smelser. It's been a pleasure working with him. There's one thing about it, if he don't agree with you, he don't care to tell you, and you can work with somebody like that. And I mean, that's just the way it is. these here ones that slips around behind your back and stuff, and I said, you can't, you don't know where they're at. But Mr. Smeltzer, it's been a pleasure, working with you. I think he has the, citizens of this county at heart, what he's done over the years. We had a lot of gravel road, dusty roads, muddy roads when he took office, in the wintertime especially. And I don't know that we've got a gravel road, a county gravel road at this time, as I know of. So it's certainly been a pleasure to me working with you. And anybody that, any department of this county that Jonas could help, he's been more than willing to help it. Just 2 weeks ago, we had a water line project, and it went way over budget to what we had. And we got Mr. Smeltzer, the committee did, and the engineer, and him and the contractor, and the engineer got with the contractor and done some stuff to help move the line along, and Mr. Smeltzer done quite a bit, more than willing to help to get more people water in the county. And anything that I know of that he's helped the county, Mr. Smeltzer's been more than willing to do it for every department this county's got. And I certainly will say you've been a friend to me, and I appreciate it, Mr. Smeltzer. Thank you.
Commissioners?
Chairman?
Yes. Sure, Mr. Parker.
Jonas, I worked with Jonas for 34 years at Draper Schools, and Jonas was very integral in always helping the school system with not bus turnarounds, if there's a road or trees that need to be cut down, and his crew especially helped, of course, on snowy morning or rainy morning or high wind areas, because they were out on the roads already, along with our people, and Jonas' crews, and Jonas himself personally will be out there with us, checking the roads and making sure that the roads and bridges are safe. And Jonas, I want to say on behalf of the school system, that say thank you, job well done. You're a consummate professional, and you're a good Christian man. Thank you, Jonas.
Commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, if I could, I'd say that I think we will move right on as long as Donnie is in charge. We will move right along as is, because he's been there long enough to know what's going on, and he will handle the job well. Thank you.
Other comments?
I'd like to say that Jonas has done an excellent job in this county. We go to some of these other counties and see some of their roads. We're very fortunate to have had him here leading this road job. He has absolutely made Sevier County proud to have the roads they have in this county. And he's worked hard, and he has been concerned a lot about the citizens of Sevier County. And I hope he enjoys his retirement for years to come. Thank you, Johnson.
Comments? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, would you please advance to the voting screen? Commissioners, would you please cast your vote? Anyone like to change your vote? Hearing no request to change the vote, Madam Clerk, would you please announce the vote?
23 yes votes.
Resolution's been properly adopted. We're now down to notaries.
48 notaries.
48 notaries. Okay. Madam Clerk, could you please bring the notaries for action? Have a motion motion and a second. Do we have any questions or comments concerning the proposed 48 notaries? Okay, hearing none. Will you please move to the voting screen? Commissioners, please cast your votes. Anyone like to change a vote? Hearing no request to change a vote, Madam Clerk, please announce the vote.
23 yes votes.
Okay, notaries have been adopted. We're down to other business. There's no other business. We do have one request for public comment on a non-agenda item, and that's from Debbie Bowdeen. Is that correct? Am I pronouncing that correct? Is that close? Was that even close? If you would come to the microphone, please. You can state your name properly then.
Okay. All righty. Good evening, everybody. My name is Debbie Bodine, and I live in Seymour. I live in a development called Highland View, and it is made up of D.R. Horton homes. I was one of the first homes in that development, phase 1, okay? And then they built phase 2, which makes like 53 homes altogether. There is a code that I've learned that we are exempt from in Sevier County. It's the International Fire Code, Section D, I think it is, that requires, hold on, I'm getting a little nervous, that requires 2 entrances or either water sprinklers if you have more than 30 homes, okay? So I'm concerned, and we're concerned, I've got a petition with 49 people's names on it from the development, but my concern is we've already had problems with the one entrance, fire trucks coming in, ambulances coming in, and what if there's a wreck right there at the entrance? Maybe we have to evacuate, you can't get out. I did suggest possibly a second entrance on Hatcher Road, which is like 3/10 of a mile past our turn-in or our development. And that is a dead end. There's like 4 or 5 homes in there, but it ends up, if you go down that road, it ends up right there at phase 3 where D.R. Horton Homes built the houses. So if you add there's a Calico Road that leads up phase 3, and if you go up the Hatcher Road, there's like 50 feet of asphalt that you could add to make that, combine, and then we would have 2 entrances. I'm just concerned, why we are exempt from that code, and that's important to me. And some of you've already heard my story, and some of you hadn't, because I was here Monday. So, and someone asked me why I wouldn't even move there, in a development like that. But if you have to, you have to. I'm sorry. I couldn't afford anything else, so I built a house there. So that is my concern, that we have one entrance only with 80 homes. Because once he does that phase 3, we'll have 80 houses, 1 to 2 cars per house. I've already spoken my, that's I've got pictures if you guys want to see them of the entrance way.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for your time.
Okay, we're down to adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Do we have a second? All in favor of adjourning, please rise. We're adjourned. Thank you.